Welcome to Nomad Media, Automotive Tales, where we tell vehicle stories, a little bit of history, and some personal experience with some cars. Let's get right into it. Today we have Billy Howell here with his 1939 Cadillac Lasalle. So let's get right into some of the history of it. Billy, you have some stuff to tell us.
All right, this car was manufactured from 1927 to 1940, and it's a little smaller version of the Cadillac. In a few years, a couple of years, it even outsold the Cadillac during the 30s. This car here was bought new in San Francisco, California. Purchased later on, and I think the record shows that the information I've got, it went to maybe 20 years later, and in the late 60s, early 70s, it went to Utah, state of Utah. But the car came out from the factory with a 322 cubic inch flathead V8 engine.
Flathead V8.
Flathead V8.
That's a pretty big engine for back in the day.
Yep. We hadn't got the doors open, but according to the information I've got, it was re-upholstered in red velour, and in California. It ended up being sold at Mecum Auctions. Let's see here if I can find my notes right. Went through Mecum Auctions in 1989.
Do you happen to know what it sold for at Mecum Auction?
I don't have that.
Okay, well that's fine.
I know it was valued at it had to be valued before it went to Mecum, and it was valued at $15,000 in 1989.
And in 1989, $15,000 that's quite a lot of money right there.
Well, it would be for me.
I think that would be anyone out there.
The record shows that it was bought by Classic Antiques out of Meridian, Mississippi, but it don't say what they gave for it.
Okay. And was it with Meridian for a while there? Like, is that do you happen to know the ownership of that? Or is it was it there for? Did you buy it from Meridian?
No, this a man named Bryant. Last name was Bryant. He bought it from. I'm almost sure he bought it from Meridian Classic Cars, and he brought it to Decatur, Alabama, and had it street rotted. He had the updated motor, transmission, power brakes, air conditioner, all this put on it when they street rotted, and this was done in 96, 97. They took them about a year, I think, to do the street rod part of it.
Okay, so this does have a modern engine in it.
Oh yeah.
So what can you tell us about that modern engine? It's a V8.
It's a 350 Vortec GM engine.
Okay, so it's got a modern Vortec engine, which is a pretty good engine. Some people may know out there that the Vortec is something that comes in the modern day, early 2000s Silverados, GMC Sierras, things like that. So it's a very reliable engine.
It's got of course, automatic transmission, 700R, which has an overdrive.
Okay. So you can drive this on the highway.
Oh yeah.
What would you say in your personal experience? How fast have you had it on the highway? You cruise at 60?
It cruise speed limit very easily. You know, 70, 65, 70.
Okay. So this is a car that's is actually practical then. Maybe it doesn't look like it. You might not want to drive it all the time, but could be.
No, it's really I normally just carry it to local car shows, cruising around a little bit, and But it will hit the road fine if you want to hit the road.
Well, it's definitely a good shower here. So it's definitely a good car show. And I know that up until I met you, I'd never seen a Cadillac Lasalle or even heard of one. So this was the very first time I've ever experienced one.
Well, I go to car shows, what's called Shades of the Past up in Tennessee, Pigeon Forge. And I watch a lot of auctions, Mecum auctions and Barrett Jackson's, and I have yet to see one of them go through.
Okay, so it's also a pretty rare car then. It's definitely not the everyday thing, which it sells a lot. It tells a lot. Like it's a special car. What type of stories do you have with the car now? I know you take it to car shows. I know that there's a few stories with this car that you haven't reached to yet. Like I know this thing has a couple of special features in the trunk.
Well, we can. The old saying is that gangsters back when they had these old cars, like Al Capone and some of them, they carried their machine gun and their money in a fiddle case. And I have a fiddle case in the trunk of it just for show.
Mm-hmm. Is that a stock feature of this car? It comes with a fiddle case, or
no,
is that like
no? That's just from the old saying that the gangster did just for show, mainly.
Keeps it out of sight from the wandering eyes.
Right.
Which gangsters also like the suicide doors for back in the day because as the story goes, it was easier to get bodies out of the car with the suicide doors. You just push them out.
Yeah. But you don't want to open one of them going down the highway 60 mile an hour either. You won't have a door left.
Yeah, unlike these modern
that's why they call them suicide.
You'd definitely be without a door. So what else you got to tell? Is there anything else?
It's like I say, it's a rare vehicle. It's not a lot of them.
It is a rare vehicle, and it's very well maintained. And I know when I met you, I caught you out here working on it under your carport here, and I'm just glad you didn't like get off my property.
No, I'm always glad somebody stopped by.
Well, definitely. So I'm thinking this upholstery, you mentioned it was done in California. What can you tell us about that upholstery?
Well, I think that the casino had it done to their guests, like come in by airline and
so a casino actually did the interior for this car. Like they
paid for it.
They paid for it.
They was built to this casino, and I figured they had it done in this velour red because they were picking up guests probably at the airport, bringing them to the motel and stuff like that.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think that red is a powerful color for a lot of these casinos. It's kind of like a power color.
Yeah.
So it shows prominence of some type. Like if you think back to medieval days and things like that, red is often something you would see on. Maybe this might be just a modern day thing of it, but a lot of kings and queens, they wore a lot of red because it was a bright, powerful color. So it could have been, dating back to some of the maybe either pop culture stories or just stories that are an idea. The idea of red being a powerful color. Yeah. But a casino did it though. That's very interesting, knowing the.
Well, the casino paid for it. It
paid for it.
Paid for it. It was built to the casino.
Okay, but that's very interesting thinking about
Golden Gate Casino.
Golden Gate Casino. And is Golden Gate Casino still around?
I don't think so.
All right, so maybe it's closed down, but maybe you can Google that. Maybe you can Google Golden Gate Casino, Los Angeles, California. So that might be something that can be looked up here. But yeah, it's pretty interesting right there, especially with the whole the gangster vibe to this car. Because like you think casino redoing the interior, what type of shady stuff was going on there?
Well, it's I would guess, I don't have any facts on it or anything, but you might be surprised at maybe who had rode in that old car.
It would be interesting to know, especially Los Angeles. That's a pretty high class area.
Now this casino.
When did you say it was reupholstered in the 60s?
1969.
1969. That was a pretty prominent time in Los Angeles, I think. Like, I think there was a lot of movie stars
Well,
over there.
now wait, let's don't. Now the casino is in Nevada, Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. So it's even okay.
This casino it paid for the uppost job is in Las Vegas.
Okay. So it's okay. Like that's
That's
even
why I say that
more interesting.
guests, more likely guests that came into this casino by air or whatever, they were picked up in this old car and took to the casino.
Okay, so it maybe functioned a little bit like a taxi, but not a
Right.
taxi.
Right.
It was a chauffeur service. Chauffeur service.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Well, this is a great car. It has an amazing history, and I know you have a lot of paperwork with it. Like I want to thank you for taking the time out to talk with me and just tell the story of your car here. It's a beautiful car, and yeah, I hope to find more like this. Is there anything you'd like to tell to the audience, or anything? Last words?
And I appreciate you inviting me to do this. It means a lot just to have you to do this, and maybe somebody else will see it.
Yeah, somebody else will see a car like this, and maybe they'll know what it is thanks to you. But that's going to do it for today, guys, and thanks for watching. I hope everybody enjoyed this, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
Thank you. See you at the next car show, okay?
Alright guys, that's it for this episode. Be sure you like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.